Gather around. It's time for the show to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is...
Hey everyone, my name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
Alright, there were so many matches this year that were just too much.
So this won't be a shocker because we've had a handful of really awesome matches that we just can't stop talking about.
How many times have these guys fought? Like it's been quite a bit.
I've been saying this all year. They're just so great to watch. We saw the heel turn coming, and then when it happened, nice and bloody, both dramatic and beautiful.
You are now entering the ring with Chutes and Ladders podcast. Here are your hosts, Desiree and Jason.
Chutes and Ladders, greatest Heatwave matches countdown. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
Heatwave has given us historic battles, including what many called the greatest ECW pay-per-view of all time in 1998. From ECW's gritty chaos to NXT's bright spotlight, Heatwave has delivered some of wrestling's most unforgettable matches, and today we're counting down the very best. Des, what are your initial thoughts?
I'm very interested to see if we have similar matches. I'm sure we are. But this is, like you mentioned, this is historical for ECW, and they are notorious, and this is, if not their best pay-per-view they have ever done. So, This should be fun.
Absolutely. And just so the audience knows, I begged Des to do this because I'm such a hardcore ECW fan, and Heatwave 98 is still fresh in my mind. So, absolutely, let's get into it. All right, Des. Kick things off with your number 5.
Okay, so we will preface this. Heatwave is now part of NXT's thing. So, out of respect for them, I did only one match for them, and then the rest are with ECW. So, yes. I just had to throw that out there, not because ECW did not have any more. Believe me, there were a ton that I had to break down. But for NXT, that will be my number 5. It will be from 2022 for the NXT title between Braun and JD McDonough. Reason being, I love this just because I love Baby Braun. This is when he was wearing his bright singlets. He completely took control over JD. There was some really funny spots where he hit him with a Frankensteiner and 2 spears, and then JD just gets up with this crazy smile covered in blood, and then Braun just turns around like, what are you doing here? And then spears him and then pins him. So nothing crazy, but typical Braun breaker. I love it, and that's the only one from NXT that really stands out.
Great choice. That's a very solid choice because obviously Braun Breaker's kind of running wild on the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
All right, mine. Wow. I had when I just did the research on this, I was smiling from ear to ear because of some of the memories. Number 5, Shane Douglas versus Pitbull. Number 2 versus Too Cold Scorpio versus Chris Jericho. You gotta be kidding me. This is a 4-way match for the ECW TV title. It showcased high-flying styles of Scorpio and Jericho, the power of Pitbull number 2, and the technical prowess of Shane Douglas. This bout was fast-paced and hard-hitting, with each competitor bringing their unique style to the ring. I just named 4 legends, and obviously there's some of these guys are known just outside of ECW, but wow, I completely forgot about this match, but this match was amazing. If you have time, definitely check it out.
Icons. That's all I can say.
All right, let's keep the countdown rolling. Who do you have coming at number 4?
What you're going to notice is a very common trend with the next 4. So I'm going with 1998's Taz versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Granted, I love Taz, but I love Bam Bam. Oh, reason being is because of his size and what he can do with his size. He is a big man, 6'4", over 400 pounds, and can flip and drop kick. So he is not only a large man, he is a very intimidating man that can fly, which is amazing. And there, of course, is a size difference with Taz and Bam Bam, but, obviously, in this match, if you remember it, Bam Bam was just hitting Taz with powerbomb after powerbomb through tables. And then there's this one spot that is constantly replayed where they're on the stage and Bam Bam tries to, I believe he's trying to suplex him, but he counters into a DDT through the stage. And then they just pop up from the bottom and he puts him in his Taz mission and taps out. Just that spot right there, I was like, this is incredible. And typical ECW. I loved it. It's one of my favorites.
Wow, that's not on my countdown, and shame on me because wow. So so first off, Heatwave 98 again, greatest ECW pay-per-view all time.
Sure is.
Yeah, that particular match was a callback from Living Dangerously, where Bam Bam put him through the ring. Mm-hmm. So they did a spot again, but this time Taz came out on top. Oh my! And Shane Douglas flipped out at the end.
Yep. Where he was like, he's crawling to the rope.
Yeah, he was grabbing the rope. He wasn't. But what's funny is Living Dangerously, he actually did tap out. So it was kind of a controversial both ways. Beautiful writing, and this is Paul Heyman on his finest.
That was Taz's glorious receipt to Bam Bam.
Amen. Oh, beautiful, Taz. Tears are going to come. Okay. My number 4, and I got to be honest, you could argue this is number 1. Let me just provide some context. Heatwave 98, before I was about to watch, I actually had very low expectations. There wasn't a title match, and I kind of was just like, okay, we'll see what happens. But Rob Van Dam and Sabu versus Hayabusa and Shinsaki. This match was incredible. This is arguably the best match that RVD and Sabu ever had as a tag team. Seriously, go back and watch it. It is a masterpiece. If you want to talk about high-flying, just move after move, the Rolling Thunder still to this day is one of the coolest tag team moves of all time. You can only pull that off when you have guys like Rob Van Dam and Sabu. R.I.P. Sabu. But this was incredible against these Japanese legends. Hats off again to Paul Heyman for pulling this off. Oh, okay.
That's on my list.
Oh, snap. Okay. All right, well, we've hit the midway point in our countdown. Des, who you have locked in at number 3?
Shocking. It's from 1998. It is Mike Awesome versus Tanaka.
Yeah, great.
This one, I really like this one. I actually rewatched this one twice this weekend because I was like, let me make sure I love this one. But I do. Mike Awesome is just huge. I forgot how big he is in size comparison to Tanaka. And the high flying and jumping over the ropes. And one thing what's crazy is, I mean, it's typical ECW, but there's no mats on the ground, really. So when they hit and take these bumps, just simply falling and trying to catch each other, they're hitting the concrete. So that is just insane to me. And they're already crazy guys anyway. But yeah, it was just a very nice fluid match. A lot of high flying, but a lot of power bombs, a lot of body behind it. And I loved it. And who was it? Tanaka hit the tornado DDT with 2 chairs and then pins them. Insane. Loved it. The crowd goes crazy.
Okay. That's on my list, FYI.
Right.
So, great choice. Okay, mine, Jerry Lynn versus Justin Credible. This match was a showcase of technical wrestling and storytelling. Lynn and Credible delivered a bout with near falls, high spots, and emotional intensity, culminating in a memorable finish that had the crowd on their feet. Let me just tell you, Jerry Lynn is probably the most underrated wrestler that I can think of. I'm sure there are others out there. He's amazing. Justin Credible has always, if you guys remember, he was Aldo Montoya, a horrible gimmick, but when he became Justin Credible, he ascended new heights. Matching these two guys together was just such a great call, and wow, what a great match.
I was going to put that on my list.
Awesome. All right, we're almost at the top of the mountain now. Des, who you have at number 2?
Okay, this one I really wanted to make number one, but I was like, no, I can't. So this one is going to be 1998's street fight with the Dudleys versus Sandman, Spike, and Tommy Dreamer. I love this one, and I find this iconic ECW. Like, every guy listed are insane. And I love when the Dudleys come out. They come out to no music. They're heels, of course, and they cut one of their best promos. They are just talking shit to the audience, to the city, everything, and they are loving it. But incredible spots. It's everything that you can imagine with a hardcore match. Spike, who is actually my coworker in real life, don't want to brag, but yeah, is flying from the top of a ladder, from the top rope into the crowd. Um, just ladders everywhere, tables. And then what was it? There was a really funny spot that when I rewatched it, it's Tommy and Devon, and they're through the crowd, but they're walking over the chairs. And for this to be a hardcore match and to be messy and dirty, they're very tiptoeing, holding hands as they're going across the chairs. And I'm like, shouldn't y'all just be falling and knocking each other out? But that was just one part that I thought was so funny. But of course, Tommy hits, I believe it was a DDT on the ladders and then pins him and wins. So I love that match. It's so good.
Oh, wow. That was the main event. And you know, what's funny, kind of arcing back to what I was saying previously, there wasn't a title match, and that was the main event.
That was.
I was like, I don't know, but wow, yeah, they brought it.
So good.
And the storytelling, Tommy Dreamer's grandfather passed away, and the Dudleys in heel fashion, they made fun of it.
Yeah.
Later on, Tommy said that he agreed to it. It was okay to put that in the storyline. And
right.
I mean, man, listen, just like you said, you're talk about icons, all six of them. Oh, thank you, because that ended Heatwave '98 again, the greatest ECW pay-per-view of all time, in amazing fashion. All right, my number two, Chris Candido versus Lance Storm. Again, this is 1998, and this is a technical masterpiece that highlighted the wrestling abilities of both Candido and Storm. The match was well paced, with both competitors exchanging holds and counters, and it was a standout on an already stacked card. These guys were obviously tag team partners previously. Listen, going back to underrated wrestlers, Lance Storm is definitely in that category as well, because he was a technical genius. Obviously, trained with the Hearts, and just I mean, if you want to talk about textbook technical wrestling, it's Lance Storm. So yeah, this match was number two. It was amazing.
Nice choice.
All right. Okay, here we go. The moment we've all been waiting for. Des, who do you have sitting at number one?
Well, you named it. It was 1998, RVD and Sabu, and Hayabusa and Shinzaki. I think this one is hands down the best, and I think a lot of wrestling fans will agree. We love Sabu. We love everything about it. And RVD. When you put those two together, they are a powerhouse. But with the other two legends, Hayabusa and Shinzaki, the fact that they just flew in, and I believe they mentioned in the commentary that they just flew into America 20 hours before and are extremely jet lagged, so they're tired, and then have to go into this insane match was crazy. But what I loved about this were the different elements. Like, there was the hardcore action of it all together, but then there's the martial arts part of it with RVD, the high flying and like the aerial offense between Hayabusa and Shinzaki. So you got these different little parts and little winks of their cultures and different things that just flowed so well together. And then halfway through, all hell breaks loose and they get into the crowd. There was one spot that I really liked. It was RVD. I can't remember who he put in. I think it was Shinzaki into that bow and arrow. And then, who was it? Sabu came down and hit him with the chair in his chest. Ridiculous. That was insane. But of course, our guys win. But it was just pure magic, pure ECW. It's one of the best in history.
Yeah. Everything you just said, you said it 5-star, pun intended.
So good.
All right, my number one. you've already said this previously. Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka. What a rivalry. This is widely regarded as one of the greatest matches in ECW history. This bout featured a brutal and hard-hitting contest with two of the company's most intense competitors. The match was filled with high-impact moves, near falls, and a relentless pace that kept fans on the edge of their seats. I've been on record of saying I'm not the biggest fan of Mike Awesome, and the way he left was just not right. And with all the other guys in ECW, I don't think he should have been pushed the way he did because I don't think he earned his stripes. But what I will say, his rivalry with Masato Tanaka was absolutely stellar. And when they got in the ring together, and I'm sure you remember this, but when Taz left the company, they had a impromptu three-way match, and the crowd was on their feet. So anytime these two guys fought, it was great, and they ended up beating each other for the title. So. Yeah, this was a little not shocking, but like I was going back and forth with all the different matches to put number one, but in the end, this slightly edged out the other ones that I mentioned.
Great choice.
Oh, thank you. All right, final thoughts this spring. What are your final thoughts? I mean, looking back, it's wild to see how much history has been made under the Heatwave banner. Des, how do you feel about how this countdown shook out? And while we're at it, what are your thoughts heading into this weekend's PLE?
I think it was very refreshing to go see something from 25, 30 years ago almost, and it's still talked about to this day. Granted, there were other heat waves through ECW, but 1998 is extremely special just because of the content, the rivalries, the storytelling, it all is amazing. And I feel like for those who have not seen it, go find it and watch it because you're going to see so many current wrestlers to this day in other matches that have paid homage to that. And they're trying to take a little bit from that character, from that match. So it's so nice to celebrate how awesome this time of wrestling was. But with NXT coming in, I'm hopeful. I hope that they can carry on the tradition. So I'm excited to see where they take it.
Well said, Des. Like I said, I begged Des to do this countdown. It was obviously relevant because we have NXT's PLE coming up this weekend. First and foremost, I think it's going to be great. I will say, I mean, the NXT athletes are some of the best athletes that you'll possibly find. I mean, wrestling has now elevated their athletic status because of some of the guys that are being brought into NXT. So you're probably going to see some of that same reflection of athleticism from Heatwave 98. Mm-hmm. Heatwave 98, just like you said, there's one match that wasn't from 98, but the rest were.
Yeah.
And I just, from the bottom of my heart, and I hope this gets out to him. Thank you, Paul Heyman, Sandman, Freeber, the Dudleys, your co-worker, RVD, obviously, RIP, Sabu, Masato Tanaka, Candido, Lance Storm. I feel like I'm on an award show, but I don't care. I want to say thank you to everyone that participated. And if you were privileged to be in Dayton that night, and I hope one of you is one of our listeners, we'd love to hear your thoughts because
tell us everything.
Yeah, seriously, because the energy, because that night I think everyone realized that something special was happening. Mm-hmm. So good times. All right, that wraps up this episode. What are your thoughts on our countdown, and what is your countdown for Heatwave matches? Please shoot us a DM at the Shoots and Ladders. And like always, please like, share, and subscribe both on YouTube and Spotify. Once again, my name is Jason.
I'm Desiree Josen.
All right, until next time, have a blessed and a blessed week.
Have a great week. Bye, friends.
This has been Shoots and Ladders. Follow us for more content.